Hello. We're here. See who's in? Who's the boot? There's a moose loose about this hoose. Hang on. Get the microphone sitting. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Hello, Valleys. How you doing? As usual, I've no subject. See where he dads. Get over you, fother mucker. There we go, sorted. G'day, Mick. Yeah, not too bad, Valleys. I'm just recovering after a couple of weeks on nights. I've had last one in was Friday night, Saturday morning. So I slept pretty much all day yesterday. Then we're awake halfway through night. Then stayed awake today to get myself back into the pattern, so to speak. So I'll hopefully sleep tonight and be back to normal by tomorrow. Good evening, Paul. As well, I think I said evening, mate. Pretty sure I did. Has anybody done anything interesting today? I've done a couple of videos and I'm confused by one. I loaded up and it loads as the one I've previously loaded. I've been asleep, Mick, most of the time, and when I've been in work, because it's nights, I've been too tired to piss about, to be honest. Too old for that sort of shit. Yeah, not surprising, Valley's texted out here. I don't do overtime anymore. It's not always there if I don't want it, but I don't want it. I do enough normally. We do 13 nowadays. Oh, that sounds cool, pal. Yeah, thing is, Valleys, I live cheaply. I don't have a car or motorcycle anymore. I don't drink, don't smoke. So I don't bother about with women. That's not voluntary though. I'm just too old, be not interested anymore. They're interested in people like Tom Cruise. I mean, apart from his money, his startling good looks, his athletic prowess, his charm, his like all that going. I hate the bastard. Good evening, Christopher. Think you're a new name I've not seen before. Yeah, I've done a couple of bits and bobs, not a lot really. I've done. Where are they? I've got them in a box somewhere. Not a million miles away. That's it. That's today's efforts. I've been messing around with American wagons, taking awful loads out, putting new KDs on them, putting new KD couplers on. I've done a few of them. I've done a flat there, a Union Pacific flat, and put KDs on that. I've not touched that one yet. I've got to work out how to sort KDs out on that. I've took the load out of that one and put KDs on that. And I've put KDs on a caboose. So I've done something, I suppose. I fancy weathering them now and putting loads in. If I'm bored later on, I might do that. Oh, cool. Sounds good, Valleys. Oh, sorry about that, folks. I was just reading what Valleys has been up to. Yeah, I have to get on with finishing my baseboards, Valleys. Then I'll start laying the track on it. Yeah, it's not something I'll do. It's me American stuff. I'll be running it occasionally, but it's not the main thing I'll be running on my layout. Like a lot of it will be just for fun. I'm doing British Rail in the early 80s. Well, loosely. It'll cover the early 80s was still pretty much like the 70s. So I'm doing up until late 80s, 90s with liveries. It's just going to be a railway as well that I run what I want, really. I'll run continental stuff on it, and I'll run British continental. I'll run American on it. Like just run them for sake of it on some of them. I love the British stuff, but I like me American, the locomotives and stuff. They have interesting old diesels. I was bidding on a steamer this week, but I didn't want to give silly money for it, and it got up to. He started at £7, and I thought, if I could get it, a HO steam loco with 3 carriages, I thought if I can get it for £7, if nobody else spots it, we're laughing. And nobody spotted it for ages, but then last couple of days, I don't think people look back. They just look at the more recent stuff. So in the last couple of days, it started bidding up. And I went, well, I'm not paying over. I think my top price was 25, put it to £31. Because even when they say they're running, you're gambling on them. I never believe it when they say they're running. I gamble on it being a non-runner and needing repairs. You're more likely to get a non-runner or a not perfect runner. In fact, one I bought a Conrail big diesel, and he had video of it running on eBay, and when I got it, it weren't running. So it must have had a bang in the post. But I stripped it, give it a good service. I've not done a video on it. And it's a nice-ish runner. Happy enough with it. Yeah, I don't know how them will do, them KDs for centering. You have put the... What do you have, Valleys? Do you have the whisker? The KD whiskers, or do you have the ones with a copper spring with them? Because I never really have any bother with them. In all honesty, I probably have to adjust the heights. Yeah, I've been out and put KDs on, Valleys. I've took the Athern. In fact, most of the ones I've got. Hang on. Have I got any Athern up here? I've got one. Oh no, I'll have two. I'm not sure whether they have couplings on though. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that's Athens or not KD. Could be either. That one way or another's got bent. Yeah, that one's metal, but I don't know whether Athern. I've never looked into that with Athern. I mean, you never know. Athern could fit KDs at the factory. I'm unsure. I'm trying to get that one there that's bugging me. Can you see it? Get it on me? Can't get it, but it's winding me. I might go and get my razor in a minute. Have a trim. Yeah, there's ones I found good were the old Lima D couplings. They were good old things. Like come back the original Lima. Dear me, I'm going getting razor in a minute. Oh, let's get down. Oh, the shame, the shame. Just give me one moment. It's going to do me head in there. It's getting me bloody spider senses or whatever you call it. One sec. Oh. I'm back. Hang on. This should be fun. Can't even bleeding see. No, don't do that. Oh. It's a mirror bloody image. Ha! I'm happy. Well, it's even worse because when you're looking in here, it's sort of reversed, but not reversed. It's weird. It's like a mirror, but not a mirror. You know what I mean? Like if I get that and do that, if you're used to shaving in a mirror, it should be that side. As I'm looking at it, if it was in a mirror, I'd be on that side, if you know what I mean. But the actual camera image is that side, so you're trying to do it backwards. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, but storing fireworks in a boiler house, what could possibly go wrong? Keep the gunpowder dry, I suppose, for the first 5 seconds. Cutting your toenails with side. So has anybody else been up to any railway projects? Mick, have you been up to any die-cast ones? The road roller's pretty cool. I've seen your road roller, and what's the other one? I'm trying to think what the other one is now. That were damn good. The finish on it were cracking. Oh, that were it. Your models of yesteryear. You did the Maxwell Roadster. You got a good finish on that. Oh, God. But yeah, I've done absolutely diddly squat this week. But partly as well, not only because of working nights. My favourite patient's been in hospital. She's a little bit better now, but I had an all-nighter with her other night sent to hospital. Bless her little heart, puked on me twice. Good fun evening. So, well, let's have a look. What else have I got planned? Coming up, I've got, it's not shown here, but one thing I do every now and again, I buy damaged stock from, well, damaged items, low cost, from Rails of Sheffield. That one's a Wisconsin Central GP30, and it's meant to have a damaged drive shaft. I don't know, I'll strip it and check it out, see what's wrong, but they put it on it, they test them, and I don't think they even go to try and repair them. They just sell them as they come in. I don't think the staff even bother repairing them at Rails of Sheffield. I've had a few off them. They range from very simple to what I got this week, which is bordering on the stupid. I've got a Swiss rail bus. I've cleaned the actual body up. The body's quite nice, undamaged. But it has an homemade underframe, which doesn't look too bad. I might be able to make it work with that. It has a homemade weight in it, weighs a ton. And there's all the various bits out of it. The running gear and bogies and pantograph and everything. Should be an interesting project, get it up and running. It was 20 quid. You know what? I think you're right, Valleys. You have to take the gearing out of one axle so it runs on one, because the gearing stops it on the other axle. But are they up here? If you hunt around, you can find drive shafts. I bought some from the States. There we are. There they are. I bought some Mathern drive shafts the other day from the States. Got them sent over. They're not. You have to look for people that have cheap postage, though. I've just thought, Mick, I'm glad you're on. I think my parcel has probably arrived off you. They've dropped it off. I only saw this card this morning. They've dropped it off with a neighbour. And didn't put what he was. I thought I haven't bought anything off eBay. So it's been pretty quick if it's arrived, Mick. You didn't do anything on the Maxwell. It's in really good nick then, Mick. What's that you want, Paul? Lord Al's Lays? Ah, I get what you mean now. I get what you mean. Lord Al did some privies, didn't he? I wouldn't mind one, but I don't have one. He's done the old, what we used to call a thunderbox, or the Aussies would call a dunny. Yeah, comical thing. Chateau 2023 Ribena. Well, I've got a 59. I've got the one of the original Lima National Power ones. But I've also got a Hornby 66, which in all sense of the word is the Lima 59, passing as a 66. In all ways and shapes and forms. Like, I don't know why Hornby don't just call that a 59 and update as 66. Because it's a big market for them. They could do a complete new tooling. Because they're passing the 59 off as a 66. Yeah, but like I say, Valleys, it's not a 66, it's a 59. The windows aren't right on it, apparently, for a 66 or something like that. It's passable, I suppose, at a distance, but yeah, exactly. Is indeed. But I think the detail differences are the windows. I think there's a difference in windows somewhere. Someone was saying. You probably have to look long and hard to discover it. Still see it. God damn it, you son of a bitch. They do indeed, Paul. They do call them sheds. There's a few reasons, apparently. A lot say it's because they have a pitched roof on them. And they look like that at the front. What, you get lucky with, mate? What we got? Look. Oh, you mean the Maxwell Roadster? Oh, I'm dragging the depths of my memory. It's been hazy last couple of weeks because I've been zombified. I've been on Dracula shift. But I sort of remember. I think I saw a original Matchbox model of yesterday's box. Vague memory. Got to admit, I did like. They're not popular models of yesteryear, unfortunately. I've got loads of them still boxed, and I thought they were good. I like the original ones and the later ones with the bigger tyres and wheels. Yeah, I don't get why they've never been popular. They'll never amount to. See, the thing is with collectibles, people keep them in the boxes, models of yesteryear. And the thing is with collectibles, the old stuff were collectible, boxed because they made them in the thousands. Well, made them in the millions. And they were all taken out of the boxes by the odd one by kids. You got the odd eccentric person that'd collect them and keep them in the box. And that was very rare back in the day, so that's why boxed items like that fetch money. Now, the thing is with collectibles, they release them, and some of them, they're made in the millions. And people think, oh, it's a collectible, I'll keep it in a box. So all the ones you see are boxed and mint versions. They're pretty much worthless. All these Lado models of yesteryear, modern Corgi, they're pretty much worthless because they were introduced as a toy semi-collector's item. Yeah, there's some nice Lados, but they'll never, unless they're limited editions, proper limited editions, they'll never fetch big money. Because they were sold as a collector's item, kept in the box, and that's the thing. The reason why the old Corgi and Dinky fetch money is because 99.9% of them were taken out of the box thrown away, and they were a kid's toy. So when you see unboxed, oh shit, that's a rare. And even rarer is if you find a mint box. If you find a mint toy and mint box with everything with it, you're getting into thousands then to buy it. Because, rightly so, it's a rarity. Find another. It's like locos, the old locos. Find mint box to them, never run. And stuff with a really good box, they're worth money. Yeah, I've seen it's in box. It's quite a good box as well, Mick. I've looked at Etsy sometimes, Valleys, and I don't know. I'll have to go and have a look proper. But mostly I've seen it's cheap Japanese stuff and that, or cheap Chinese, I should say. Yeah, they do look good on layout, stuff like that. One thing that's annoying though, I've been hunting, and there's actually very little available for me layout of early 80s to early to mid 80s trucks. There's very little available for that time period. 60s, yeah. Modern day, yeah. But 80s, 90s, forget it. Or late 70s. Like the old Volvos or Scanias or whatever. But it's funny, you look around and some stuff you can get for, like until recently, there were no Mark II Transit. What's that about? They were everywhere in the 80s. Mark II trannies. Oh, you're not allowed to say trannies now. Leave it out, boy. Leave it out. I'll be getting put in sin bin. I've only just come out. But yeah, the Mark II Transit were non-existent in 176 until they did that one recently, Oxford. And even now I wanted the short wheelbase, single legger. And they've got the long wheelbase, twin legger. Yeah, they weren't a bad old bus valleys. I did some mileage in them back in my day. I forget what year it were in the 90s, but I did some miles up and down the country in one when I worked for a company that put blackboards and whiteboards in schools and colleges and everything. Like, used to install them and service them and everything. I know about servicing blackboards. Paint the black on, and I know how to do the orange marking they used to have. Big ruler and a paint lining pen. I've actually got a paint lining pen in here somewhere. The metal adjustable nib for your width of line and mix your paint to the right viscosity so it flows when you drag your metal nib down. I'm wondering if I can use it for lining on model railways. Bet I could, you know. It's like a metal bet. I wonder where it are. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm wondering if I can do screen in screen. Hang on. What does that do? No, that's not it. Shirt, no. Don't know what that is. I'm wondering if I can actually add a screen. Just so when I'm talking, I can add a screen to it. Manage what? No. That's not give us anything. No. Ah, well. What does edit make? No, I'm not editing. I don't want to press edit and not do some damage. Yeah, not bad. I'll tell you what, I used to do a lot of driving at one point. I worked for a company and I drove trucks. I used to drive a recovery truck and I used to go down London regular. And I've been round Westminster and I'm going round there and I'm not kidding you, or in middle lane. And I had a car on front bumper. I had a van on corner this way. I had something tucked right upside of me. Another one tagged to rear, another one tagged side it. All tight in, and storm the crows, the frigging dispatch riders still managed to get through. I'm unsure if they even have motorbikes with them sometimes, the way they sneak through. Yeah, Dinkies did the Mark 1, Mick. I'm on about 176 in Mark 2 farm. I've got a couple of Dinkies, Mark 1s. Matchbox did a Mark 1 drop side. Majorette did a Mark 1 camper van, which actually is probably a nice size for model railways. I'd say that's 176 more than 164. I think it's close. I'd have to check it alongside a 176 tranny. But I'm pretty sure it's close. Not going hunting for it now, but I found something I've been looking for the other day. Yeah, Oxford do the Mark II valleys. That's what I was saying. They've just released it recently. But that's what amazes me. Right? It's funny, Oxford, they'll release more obscure stuff, yet stuff that were on every street corner, like Mark II transits, don't get released until yonks after. It's weird, like. And just for a change in Oxford cars, I'd like to see them put drivers in. I haven't got them to hand here, but I have a collection of Oxford cars. And I have one in it. I think it's a Viking. Continental HO. And it's a Jaguar XK120. And it actually has a driver and passenger in it. If you're putting cars on a model railway layout, you'd think they'd put passengers in them so you can see the driving. It looks odd, cars in the middle of the road with no drivers in. I actually did a video of putting drivers into Oxford cars. Because you can strip up, well, you know about stripping them, Mick. Same as I do, drill the rivets out of the bottom, split them. Some Oxfords are screwed together, but some are riveted, so you have to drill the rivets out at the bottom. Take the base plate off, the interior out. But I've put figures in vans and cars and stuff. I even put an A to Z on the dash of one of my vans. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They are doing valleys. That's what I've said. But they're bringing out the long wheelbase twin axle, which I'd have preferred the short wheelbase single. See, again, that's the thing with Oxford. They've gone for the obscure one rather than the one that everyone had. A Mark II twin leg long wheelbase transit were the rare of the two. A short wheelbase single leg transit were the common one. But Oxford always do the weird ones first. No worries, fellas. No worries. But that's what I find with Oxford. They quite often do the obscure one instead of the one everyone had. It's weird. Quite often they do a good one. And the common ones. But I just thought it was a weird choice picking the least obvious one for a layout. Everybody had the single leg transit Mark II. They were everywhere. Van hire companies had them, like builders, everyone. Motorbike shop I worked at, they had one for recovery. Just about everywhere. Yeah, they were a very common van. But Oxford, they do some astounding cars. Beautiful ones, I think, really. Because Oxford started doing them ready-made. I think Springside models give in on them. And Springside did some outstanding ones. Yeah, they were Mark I transits were always used in Sweden. And rightly so, because that's what it actually predicts not predicts, it actually pictures facts, because that's what bank robbers did use. Because they were quick, they performed well. They performed close to a car's performance the Mark 1 Transit. So that's why they were used a lot for bank robberies. I've not got an Oxford Moggy yet, pal. I've owned a real Moggy, but I've had 2 real Moggies, but I've not had an Oxford one yet. Mind you, I've had 4 Triumph Heralds and I've not got an Oxford one of them either. I tell a lie, I've got the 148 scale, which would be all gauge. Good evening, Andy. Good to see you. Excellent. What is it you do, Andy? I feel I may have asked you. Yeah, I may have asked you what you do. Plumber. Hey, good stuff. Good stuff. I sorted my plumbing out the other day. There were 2 sizes of the comes out to the bottom of my cistern. There's 2 sizes and it was dripping, it was leaking. So I had to take it off and put a new one on. Clamped it up and it sealed it now. My floor's dry again. I do most of the work myself. I'll do basic plumbing, but I don't get into the heavy stuff. I don't understand gauges of pipe and pressures and that enough to be pissing about with it properly. If something breaks, I can solder and I can work stuff out how to install new. Take old out, copy the old and replace with new. But as for new installations, I'd get a specialist in and pay him. I don't know enough to fuck about. Like electrics, I'll do basics if it gets heavy. I'm not fucking frying myself for fucking few quid. Sod the tills over the steak bakes. Bloody hell, nightmare, Andy. Oh, cool. Nice one, Mick. Evening, Mark. Another new face. It's sort of a small and, how do you say, small and friendly. I'll have my say on here and the guys have their say, talk to each other, ask questions, whatever you want to be getting on with in the side chat. I'll come up with stuff I've been doing, word channels edit, stuff like that. It's just I want one piece of wood to carry on with me. But the place I got it from has started to be, they were arseholes. I could pay the 15 quid delivery charge. But I bought a load of wood for the original build on the baseboard and they delivered for free. Then I got a couple of extra pieces and they delivered that for free. Then I asked for another piece, and I only needed one piece finished. And they went, which were fair enough, I suppose. It cost something to send staff members out, but they didn't do free delivery on the one piece, so I'm gonna still buy it off them, but go down in my mate's tranny and pick it up. Well, Mark, good question. I've got a few things, Scott. I've got a lot of projects. I mean, just hanging around on the bench at the moment, I've got an Ormby 3 FGNC and LMS livery. Let me think, I've got a few American diesels on there. I've got a Triang 262 that I'm going to turn the flanges down on and redeckle and everything, because I like the old Triang 262, but I want to turn the flanges down so it'll run better on modern track. Oh, cool. I've got a few. I bought a few wagons off eBay recently. One of them's in there for I've been doing shorts today, but I bought a few wagons the other day on eBay. Few I've wanted. Like, bought a job lot, and there's a couple of ones I bought in ones and twos there as well. But one of the mighty white wagons, come out of that lot that I used for videoing today. Oh, and the fish finger one. Because I've done one where it's a sausage sandwich between two mighty white wagons. And I've done my pigs in blankets between two mighty white wagons. But I've got a fish finger van, and I'm doing that between the two mighty white vans. So it's a fish finger butty. I've videoed that, but I'm having problems uploading it. It keeps uploading. If I upload it, it wipes the other video out, and they're both the same video. Weird shit going on. So I'll try shutting down tonight and going in tomorrow and see if shutting down helps. But yeah, it's a cracking idea that Martin and Evie did for the wibbly wobbly wagons. I've seen some cracking ideas. I've got one. I don't know what. Well, I've got my wagon in there. I've got one I can use. But I don't know whether to do a Warhammer squig, like Squig Farms, or I don't know whether to do the, what do you call it? The Green Boys. One of the Green Boys poking his head out. Yeah, possibly. I'll possibly do guns and rusty iron armour on it and stuff. I'm sure it will. Sure it will, Mark. Sure it will look good. Are you letting the secret out, or are you letting it be a surprise when we go in and watch it, what it is? Not fussy, I like surprises. Do like surprises. Yeah, videos are okay. Like the one I did, I find it. Oh, hey, pink spray paint arrived. That doesn't tell me much in a way. Pink could mean anything. Unless you're doing another piggy. But I think Evie has the market covered with. I think Evie has the market cornered with a pig one. God damn it. I love some of the ideas that kid comes up with. The poem were absolutely astounding. Very clever. You know, it's enjoyable watching. Hey, now I've got to get me thinking. There's something I'm thinking, and it's in the dim and distant past. And I'm sure it were an advert or something, but I can't think what it was. '90s. You're not doing a blobby wagon, are you? He's doing a blobby. Blobby, 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 blobby. God sakes. Oh, God, that was. I'll never forget that. I used to work voluntary on East Lancs Railway. And oh, that the time that record were out, it were playing everywhere. I was like, I'm sick of this. And the trouble is, today's music actually makes it look professionally written. God, you go. We all tuned in. We all used to tune in. Hey, back in the days when you only had 4 channels to pick from. If you didn't buy into Sky, you had 4 channels to choose from. Blobby, blobby, blobby. Yeah, that's the one, Mick. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to that now. Oh, some of the stuff they've come up with for Wibbly Wobbly Wagons. Very entertaining. Very clever ideas. Yeah, Channel 5 was sort of mid to late 90s, if I remember. I think Channel 5 were around, correct me if I'm wrong, but about 96, perhaps. I think Channel 5 were mid 90s, about 96, 97 at a guess. I were too, at that time, I were too transfixed on Xena Warrior Princess. Bloody X Factors, that redhead Pamela Anderson, not Pamela Anderson, Gillian Anderson. Oh, I watched the Tube occasionally. I weren't a great fan. Like Bob Geldof sex on it. I definitely want to watch Jules Holland. He irritates the hell out of me, Mick. I think he's a slimy git. He's one guy I can't stand, Jules Holland. Soon as Soon as something comes, you know, the thing is that's really annoying. I can't watch him, but the programs he does, he has some really good musicians on. But because it's him, I can't watch him. He irritates me. Soon as his face appears, off. Dick click off. Mind you, he's not on his own. Oh, yeah, Wonder Woman. Linda Carter. Not on his own, though, Jules Holland, for irritating me. That bird off Friends annoys me. Oh, as soon as I see her face, dink switch off. I like Squeeze, Paul. They're a good band. Just Jules Holland on his own, he irritates me. Can't stand him, he's a knob. Squeeze were a good group, they had some good records. It's just him in person as a personality. As soon as he comes on, fuck off. Yeah, good record, Valleys, up the junction. They did a few good ones, but there's just something about Jules Holland soon as he comes on. Trying to think of her name that's on Friends. Jennifer Aniston. Oh, jeez, as soon as I see her face, turn off. She's another one, can't stand her. Which is a shame because I like that Phoebe. Phoebe's good. Well, there's always been something about Jennifer Aniston. I think it's possibly the American thing with Jennifer Aniston, where they're all sickly sweet and nice and false smiles, and she just irritates me. Oh, I couldn't get close enough to her. She irritates me intensely, and I don't know why. I've never quite placed it. There's just something about her. Because she's not a bad-looking girl. Attractiveness is there, so it's not that. And she's not way out there with personality, so it's not that. There's just something that flicks her. It's probably something just me. Wouldn't Chuck either out of bed for fancy, though. Oh, jeez. I do hope you don't mean Jules Holland. He'd be straight out for farting. It's like the judge sat in the courtroom and he's going, it's a bit stuffy in here. Open some windows. So they open the windows and he says, call up the defendant. And the defendant comes up and he says, name, he said, Alf Hartigan. He says, you do, and you're going right out of this court. Oh. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not Jules. Yeah, definitely. Paul, the trouble with Top Gear is, and it's the same with every BBC, right, Royal? They don't know what they've got. They don't know what they're doing with what they've got. They're determined to ruin every single good programme they have. They've screwed up Question of Sport. That's next now to it, the Blacks. They've lost Formula One, they've over years. They've lost Top Gear. All they have now is repeats of Homes Under the Hammer and just general bilge like bloody Strictly and who's interested, switch off. It's just they've lost their way, the BBC. They want you to pay into it, but they don't have the quality they used to have. Top Gear's finished. I said 2 years ago Hamilton will drive for Ferrari before he retires. Nearly every single legend has had a Ferrari drive before they retired, and Lewis is definitely going to do it. You're not telling me anybody that goes up to drive Ferrari doesn't want a seat in the legendary Ferrari. It doesn't matter if it's losing seasons. You just want to be in a Ferrari. The racing legends. And if you're a legendary driver, I'd imagine the temptation is too much to say, I'm not going to drive for Ferrari. Hell, I'd do it if I were a top class driver, a legend like Lewis. I'd be doing everything I could to get my arse in a Ferrari. But they're in very. But as for that, Valleys, they're in advanced discussions for it. So I think it's 100%. Lewis is at bar legal wrangles and contract wrangles. I reckon it's 100%. Lewis will be Ferrari for 25 season. I reckon it's 100%. And I'd still support Leclerc. Because I'm an ant. I used to be a Lewis fan because he were a British driver and everything, but then he started all this political shit with Black Lives Matter and all the bullshit and causing trouble on streets. And I went, right, you can fuck off, you prick. Stood there, but having a go. He was stood there going, oh, we had slavery. Then why are you driving for Mercedes and a German company, Lewis, if you don't like slavery? Mercedes used slavery in 1940s to build the war effort vehicles. Also, the boss clothing you advertise is who made the SS uniform. Don't shout too loud about slavery, Lewis, without knowing your facts. Besides which, the British, the Royal Navy, were the first ones to start going against slavery and stopping the slave trade. Oh, the six-wheel Tyrrell. They were a beautiful car. They banned six-wheelers though, didn't they? After Tyrrell's. It did really well. Them were the days. I'd love to go back in time and watch them races. I'd love to watch the classic Hunt and Lauder battles and Mansell and Senna battles and stuff like that. I've been Silverstone watching modern stuff and it's boring. I was talking to a chap there and he said it's nothing nowadays, F1. He said if you went back to the 80s and stuff, he said, you didn't have all this fencing around they've got all safety fencing up. He said you didn't have all this safety fencing around the track. He said you could sit trackside and watch them go past. He said with nothing in between you. He said now it's all safety fencing up and everything. He said the cars are boring compared to the old cars. He said the old cars with the V engines and loads of... He said they filled the area with noise. He said it was fantastic atmosphere, the old one. And I watched it, in all honesty. My mate said, are we going back? And I might do, but it works out if I got the package and that. It's a 300 quid weekend. It'll probably be near a 400 quid weekend now. And I can think of better things to do with 400 quid because it's not that entertaining for 400 quid. It's all right for a one-off experience. I paid it for the one-off experience, but would I go back for 400 quid? And I think the answer is a no. I can find better things to use 400 quid for, especially because I can see the race better on telly. Yeah. JPS Black Lotus, they were gorgeous. Bloody hell, Valleys, that must have been awesome, watching them guys drive. Tell you what, I went to the recent film, the Ferrari film that's just come out with Penelope Cruz in. What a film, and it shows why they banned street racing, because they used to have street racing in the 50s, and it was after an accident a Ferrari had that they banned it. And Jesus, the driver, he actually hit a crowd of kids and killed a few of the kids. I think it was some sort of kids group or whatever. Anyway, he hit this group of kids, killed a few kids, but the driver were clean in half. And the film actually showed it. It was gruesome. But apparently, after what they did, I think he were a warm cat's eye. And he actually hit the tyre and blew the tyre and threw the car. But God, it was gruesome. But they had to... Yeah, that was a beautiful car, Valleys. I'm amazed none of them survived. They were beautiful. Yeah, I'm presuming you mean Nick Mason did it. Because he has a 250 GTO as well, Nick Mason. And that car's worth millions. and he lets people drive it. It goes out and gets driven in like Goodwood, Festival of Speed and stuff. He's not shy at letting it out, and I think it's worth something stupid like 25 million. And he just goes, yeah, go on, have a drive. Struth. But yeah, he's not shy, Nick Mason is. I think he's got a little bit more than 25 million. His bloody helicopter's painted in I think it's the Animals album cover art. He's got I think, is it Animals? Yeah, but yeah, Valleys, I'm not sure which one it is Nick Mason has. But yeah, it's probably him that has the shark nose, because he's a big Ferrari fan. He also has I'm not sure whether it's an AS350 or an AS355 helicopter. The only difference is the 350 is a single engine and the 355 is a double engine. But he has one, and he has one of the album covers artworks on. Nice if you can get it. I mean, that on its own, one of them helicopters, even second hand, you're talking $1 million, depending on the level of flight instruments on it, whether it's got night rating instruments on or daytime only. But yeah, there's one, I don't know which band member it is, but on the Urbex forums, there's one of the Pink Floyd's members that's just abandoned a mansion. Not sold it, he's just left it and abandoned it. Presumably bought a new house and left the old. How does that work? That tells you how much money they have, because it is a big mansion. I'm not so sure, it might have been the one with a billiard table in. A massive one. Yeah, the Daytona were a nice car. It were a very nice car, the Daytona. Some people weren't keen, but I've always liked it. Pretty design. Mind you, I like the Rover SD1 as well. Particularly if I could get the S version, the special, the pea green one, that would be beautiful. Special edition model, beautiful car. But yeah, in general, I love the Rover SD1, especially if you got the Van den Plein, the like top models. I do have a soft spot for them because it was one of the first cars I drove. One of the first, well, I say drove, I used drove loosely. I just jumped in and taught myself. Catch you later, mate. See you during week, buddy. Good to have you along. I'll have to go and pick my parcel up tomorrow as well. See what I'm getting. Hey, Hey, Miami Vice fan, Paul. I even had my canvas espadrilles in the 1980s. They were this colour of blue. Bloody electric blue canvas espadrilles. All the best, mate. Tatty pie, Mick. Rolling up the jacket. I bought a jacket so I could do. I had a jacket, and I rolled the sleeves up, and I had me bloody electric blue espadrilles, or whatever they were called. I'm going having a look now. Yeah, they were. Espadrilles, bloody hell. Takes you back. Takes you back. I didn't have a pest. Technically, that's where you're wrong there, pal. Miami, it wouldn't have been a crocodile, it'd have been a gator. They're very similar anyway. I forget what the difference is, you can tell by, but there is a difference between a crocodile and a gator. But yeah, it is. Bloody Miami Vice, they had a lot to answer for. With UK men's fashions in the 80s. It didn't look right. Should be entertaining anyway today. I put my trainers through the washing machine because they was thinking if they've fallen to pieces, I'm going to have to buy new works trainers for work. Well, yeah, I can imagine. Well, my friend has 1980s pagoda roof Merc sports car. He has the right one as well. He has the V8 one he restored. I've been in it, and the looks you get when you're out in that. Sounds silly, but we got more looks in that one than we got in the E-Type Jag. More people looked at the pagoda roof Merc sports car than they do at in the E-Type Jag. Weird. Mind you, if I had to pick, I'd pick the Mercedes before the Jag. Martin had hate me, I know, but if I had to pick one, it's a more. The Mercedes Sports is a more user friendly car. Very nice car. Very, very nice. I noticed you didn't say you couldn't afford one, Andy. That's one thing you didn't say. I've just nowhere to put my steps or pipe. You didn't say you couldn't afford it. Thing is, if you bought a cheap Ferrari, you'd probably spend the same again getting it running. I was just looking at a guy today, a video. He bought a Ferrari, and it seemed a cheap bargain until he discovered all the things that hadn't been done on it that should have been done. As you do. The plumber's version of the mechanics, gonna cost you. the amount of times my mate did that at his garage, gonna cost you. Sometimes I actually wondered if he wanted the work. Used to make me laugh. Yeah, funny chap. Used to go around and sit around talking, and there were never any cars coming in, and used to think, how the hell does it keep this place going? He's still going now, and I never see him working on anything. Oh, now then, Paul. Now then. Both are very nice, but I'd go individual. I've seen them look very nice in metallic blue and black. They do look nice in black. Charcoal grey would be nice, yeah. But metallic blue, they look good in. Right, metallic blue. I think Lamborghini's got the lime green stitched up, haven't they? As theirs. I've got to say at this point, I have not far, but I have driven 2 Ferraris. I've driven a Testarossa, and I think it were a 346 Spider. I got to go with a 911 as well, Polish. On road. That were entertaining. Especially when you get a 20-year-old up your arse in an XR3i flashing the lights at you to get out of the way. Don't be silly. Drop a Porsche 911 2 years and hit the floor and watch him disappear in the mirror. Just watch the gap go. Wow. They are nice valleys, but they like driving it. They're very much like driving a go-kart. They're rough and the clutch is heavy as. Well, they're not a nice clutch on them. You couldn't live with one day to day if you were in bumper to bumper traffic. Like nowadays, you couldn't live with a Porsche. But for what they meant for out on the track, they're a phenomenal car. But these people that buy them for more money than sense, they'll buy a 911 for a day-to-day car. Are you real? You'll get sick of that in the first month. I got sick of it in first day because of how heavy the clutch was and the spine jarring ride. Yeah, that'd be nice, Andy and Aston. Red braces for your trousers. That were a staple 80s thing, weren't it? Red braces for your trousers. All the bloody yuppies. Happy days. Happy days. Bloody hell. Going back a bit. Hang on, just check if I've had my beds today. Oh, it seems like I haven't. Take me medication. Oh shit, I'll have to go and just talk amongst yourselves while I get a drink. Back in a second. Ow. Oh, happier now. Me friend's a water specialist, pal. Hmm. I'd debate that one. My mate had 3 classic Lotuses in his showroom. He's still got one of them left, and he bought it from new. He's still got a Lotus 2+2. He had the tiny mini Elan, a Lamp 2+2. He had a Mark II Cortina in the damson red colour and gold stripe. VW Corrado's an interesting one, Valleys. I had the VW Jetta GLI that was sold same running gear as GTI. That were a fun drive. I bounced it off the rev limiter. I got a ton 20 out of it. Interesting car. It got there quick as well. I were a thug when I were younger with them though. I used to bounce them off rev limiters and everything. I had, like I said, I had the Jetta GLI, which were, all it were a Golf GTI with a boot lid. It were the exact same running gear, exact same interior, near as damn it. Same seats and everything, dash. It was just that it had the rear roof on it, the boot. And from, you could say basically, from the floor pan upwards and from behind the front doors and seats, it were all the same car. There's a Golf GTI. It handled well, and the big thing that got me, it was astoundingly economical. I couldn't believe how economical it were. Yeah, it comes to us all, valleys. My eyes are goosed compared to what they used to be. Part of the reason why I got rid of my quick bikes. Gave up biking. I was going to kill myself on it. My body were giving up and... Hey up, sorry about lighting, it's my light playing up. Thrown a wobbler, I don't know whether it's gone back to how it should have been. But yeah, my eyesight's on way out, that one. I've got floaters in all the time. And the actual eyesight on it's gone down. I've got the issues with my hands, disabilities with my hands, hence the shaky hands yet. My hips are one way out. I've smashed my knee up from the bike accidents I had. That hand I had pinned back together. My left hand were pinned back together after bike accidents. This leg, I nearly lost this leg. I'll show you. It's all right, I've got jockeys on. But that knee had an hole in it round there. Went down and you could see into my leg because a 20 centimetre round area had been degloved. So yeah, you could say I'm pretty much screwed. My body's pretty much screwed, to be honest. Age catches us all. Yeah, not good. It's not good fun occasionally, valleys. I've had a lot of tumbles over years. I've ended up in a couple of gardens, a couple of people's front gardens. I really pissed one bloke off. He'd only just put a new fence up. Austin aggro. Oh, Jesus. As bad as my mate goes. He said he had one of those. Oh shit! Which were it that replaced the Allegro? Oh, an Austin replaced the Allegro. Oh, well done, Valleys. Oh, trying to think of it. They named them all after him. Austin Maestro. He had an Austin Maestro, and he said it was one of the talking ones. When they made a big fuss about the talking Maestro, yeah, Valleys. He said that car told me everything I wanted to know, apart from there were a copper behind me when I was pissed. And the copper in question, he nicked him. And Gary, he's a funny lad. He said, I didn't do myself any favours with that copper. And me mate Kev, we were out on a drinking night. He said, I know you didn't. I said, why? What did he do? He said he turned round to me with a copper there. And he said, keep your eye on me tape collection, Kev. You know what a thieving set of bastards these are. I'm like, Jesus. Yeah, the Maestro and Montego, neither of them were that nice. When I worked for Rover, they were still making the Montego and Maestros. And I was like, why? And if you think the Maestro were bad, they actually made a Maestro diesel. Oh, it was horrendous. We had one at our place and the salesman managed to blow it up. They started it up brand new off the transporter, started it up and they tried, well, it wouldn't start. That was the problem. And they turned it and there was a big bang from this thing and all smoke started coming from up, but you could hear the salesman going, come on, yes, 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 bang, no. Then, oh, let's fuck off, lads. And they slammed the door, took the case, and we looked round corner and there was smoke coming wisping out from under the bonnet. And we went, they fucked it. Oh, funny lads. The Allegro, happy days. I quite liked the Allegro estate, but it wasn't a good car. It were a typical typical BL car of the period, thrown together in poor quality. It was sad, you know. I thought it were a travesty, really, about British railing because they had desirability. They had nice designs. The designs were good. The trim were good and everything. But Jesus, they had India build quality. In fact, in some cases, it was worse than India. It were atrocious build quality. Yeah, it was called the Quartic steering wheel, Valleys. What a shit idea that was. The idea was of that it made you keep hold of the wheel and feed it through your hands rather than letting it spin through your hands because it felt uncomfortable spinning through your hands. But the type of driver that'd let the wheel spin through his hands had unbolt it, throw it in a skip and put a racing wheel on. Something like a Momo wheel on it. So it's stupid idea. But in the main, they had some beautiful interiors and they just, I don't know, they just couldn't assemble them good. The build quality were atrocious. snap-on tool guy. You know, the Allegro were a nice design. I like the Allegro, but my friend worked on designing the rear suspension for it. Somebody else worked designing the front suspension, and neither of them ever met or talked to each other. So that tells you everything you need to know about British designing cars. Anyway, we're coming up to 1 hour 45. I've rambled on for a bit. And it's quiet, I think. I'll have a do for tonight. Because I'm tired after a fortnight of nights. I'm still recovering. I managed to keep my lights flickering as well. I wonder where remote is for it. See if I can make it work. Let's have a look. I bet if I start switching my light now, it'll go up and I'll balls it up. I'll have to find remote first though. Find the remote. Remote control for a light. What's that about? I've got a remote control light bulb, y'all. If it'll work. It's not even working on that now. I wonder if it needs a new battery and remote. I bet it does, you know. I bet it needs a new battery in the remote. Jesus. Anyway, while I'm fiddling with this, chaps. Oh, hang on, what was that? Oh, entertaining, Andy. Anyway, I'm calling it a night for tonight, chaps. I've had a long old fortnight on night shifts. I'm just getting ready for chilling down now. I'm still getting my body clock in, so I'm going to say good night and catch you on the next one. Been entertaining again. Catching up with stuff, and I keep saying it. I'm going to build a table here so I can chat and do. I wonder if let's have a look. Point it down. Let go. It's 50-50. Let's have a look. Get a loco. It's not the most detailed, obviously, but if we can see what we're doing, I may build a table and work on stuff. That may work. But anyway, for tonight, tatty pie, people. Tatty pie, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. All the best to y'all. And catch you in next one, fellas. Good chatting again. I'd have stayed on longer, but I'm tired. Yeah, I've got a pair of them. I've got a motorised and a dummy valleys. So they're one that's to come up a video. Right, anyway, tatty pie, chaps. Tatty bye, and catch you in next one. Bye.